Hello people, I'm the Real Comic Book Gamer, and this is my review of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. Now this is just more talking about the stuff that I didn't like and what I think they can improve. Overall, I love the beta, I thought it was great, I'm really excited for the full game, but there are definitely things they can improve on. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the heroes, because I think that's the biggest aspect of this game and the most interesting part, and the part that keeps me coming back. That's what kept me coming back in the first Battlefront. It's sort of like kill streaks in the early days of Call of Duty. You know how it was like, hey, you know, Battlefield 3 has better gunplay, but you know, like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, those got like the cool kill streaks. Like it's really satisfying to like get dogs or call in a chopper gunner. Even though you control a helicopter on Battlefield, you've got the kill streaks in Call of Duty, and it's just so satisfying. Same with this. You know, other games have better gunplay than Battlefront, but you've got the heroes that are so satisfying and fun to use, and no other game has that. And that's how I feel about it, and that's what kept me coming back in the first Battlefront. Even though other games have better gunplay, I really loved playing as the heroes. So in the beta, the heroes were pretty fun to use, but man, they have been nerfed to oblivion. Alright, so they haven't been nerfed that badly, but they have been nerfed significantly compared to the first game. They are not nearly as powerful as they once were. They're barely better than normal soldiers at some points. It's kind of embarrassing, the fact that if I'm Darth Maul and see 5 guys, I'm afraid to go and take them down unless they're literally hugging each other. Otherwise, it's like, oh man, I'm probably gonna die if I go after that. Even though I'm Darth Maul, I'm afraid to go after 5 guys because it's how much weaker they are. But they said part of the reason they did this was because they wanted troopers to feel like they had an effect on the heroes, which I think is kind of stupid, to make it like, oh, we want individual troopers to have effects on the heroes. No, if I'm just going against one guy, that guy shouldn't be able to do some significant thing against the hero, assuming that guy's good as the hero. If it's someone bad, of course, they should be able to kill him. But I'm talking about if it's someone that's good as the hero, like 1 or 2 guys shouldn't be able to significantly bring them down. And I have some fixes for this in my own mind of how to change the heroes and make them better. First off, I think they should make them just a bit more tanky, make it to where like a couple lasers don't do as much damage as it currently does. Also, reward the heroes for playing the objective and being aggressive, not hiding and playing like a pansy, because that's how it works right now. If you're going in and you're playing the objective and like clearing out an objective room for your team, oh no, that's not good, you're gonna die. But if you go in, kill one guy, run away, heal, go in, kill one guy, run away, heal, that's what it rewards. You can go back and forth and just heal and stay alive as the hero for a long time. And that's how I got most of my big kill streaks, was doing that. But I got frustrated with it, and I would just get fed up, and I would just run in and just try to play the objective, because that was more fun, to be in the heat of the action, instead of just, oh, I'll run in, I'll kill like 2 people, and then I'll run away scared for my life, even though I'm Darth Maul. Because that's how I heal. That's what the game rewards. It rewards playing like a little pansy, and I hated that. I feel like it should be closer to the original Battlefront 2, where you are basically a vampire. You're constantly draining health, but if you kill people, you gain health back, and so there was a balance there. Don't make them as OP as they were in the original Battlefront 2, because they were incredibly overpowered, but you can make it to where there's a balance there. You're constantly draining health, so it's like, damn, how do I keep my health up? I kill people. When I kill people, I get more health, and I think that's how it should be, instead of how it is right now, where it's like, oh, if you hide, you're rewarded for it because you heal. I think it's really stupid, and I hope they change. If it's like this in the full game, this just really sucks. Because right now, there is no incentive at all as the hero to play the objective. None whatsoever. There's none. It should be like, maybe if you're standing in the objective area or something, you heal. You heal a bit. You heal faster. Something like that. Instead, right now, no. It heals for being out of the objective and away from people. So that's what it rewards. And I hate that, because already in the original Battlefront by EA, people weren't playing the objective as the heroes that much. But now it's even worse, because if they're in the objective, that's where all the people are, and that's where they're going to get hurt, and they're not going to be able to heal, and it's just stupid. I really hope it's not like this in the full game and they fix it. Also, something else I'd like them to add is a queue system for the heroes. So say you got your 5,000 points, but someone's already Darth Maul. Instead of just sitting in the screen waiting for that person to die and just spamming the spawn button as Darth Maul, so you're doing nothing for your team in the meantime because you want to play as Darth Maul, you don't want to miss out. Instead of that, you can just hit Q and you queue up, so then you're the next person, and make the queue line only like maybe 2, 3 at max, so that way not everyone with 5,000 points can queue and you're just waiting and you're like, oh man, I'm never gonna get Darth Maul. But make it like 2 or 3 people can queue up, something like that, so that way at least not everyone's just sitting there like, man, I want to be Darth Maul, and then they're like, man, but I don't feel like waiting, so I'm gonna play the game, and they're playing the game, and then all of a sudden someone else gets Darth Maul because that guy was waiting in the screen. It's like, oh damn, that sucks. Make it to where you like maybe 2 people can queue up. That would at least save some people, so that way they can play the game instead of sitting in a menu waiting to be Darth Maul. Now let's talk about some of the heroes' abilities I think need to be changed. Rey's charge needs to be reworked completely. It's clunky and awful, and it looks really goofy. It looks retarded. Have you ever seen Rey do her charge? She runs about 3 miles an hour, and she just does this stupid little charge that is really clunky and hard to control, and it does almost no damage, and it is just awful and pointless. I don't even know if I have any footage of me using it, because I hardly ever used it. It was that bad. It is just awful. Please rework that entire ability. The rest of her abilities are fine, they work great, but that one is just terrible. Han's charge also needs to be reworked. It's a lot like Rey's, except the only use for it is to run away. That's it. And also when you do Han's charge, for some reason it zooms in to the back of your head a bit, and so it's even harder to see where you're going. It's hard to control, and it's really clunky, and again, it does no damage. So Han's charge needs to be reworked. It's just terrible. And also Han's, I believe it's called sharpshooter, I don't remember what it's called, but it's the one where he can just rapid fire, which is a really good ability. The problem is it zooms in on your crosshair for no reason. It's stupid. I'd rather be able to control that. Right click to zoom in, don't right click to not zoom in, to do that instead of the game zooming in for me with that ability. What if I'm doing that because there's a lot of people near me and I'll rapid fire all of them instead of zooming in so it's hard for me to see them? Just get rid of the zoom. It's stupid. Boba Fett needs more health. He is the weakest hero in this game, and he has the least health. He has 500 health. That's 100 less than Han, and I just think it's stupid because he's the weakest hero in the game. The thing he's best at is just getting up on top of roofs and sniping people. I don't know if there's a way to zoom in as him though, because in the previous game you would melee to zoom in, because your normal zoom in button was to use his jetpack, but it was melee. But in this, he actually can melee, so I don't know if maybe there was a way to zoom in as him and I just didn't know. But if there's not, they should add a zoom in, because I feel like that's his best ability, is being able to fly up and snipe people. But besides that, I think Boba Fett's okay. Maybe his concussion rocket is kind of pointless. It doesn't really do much to anyone. His triple rocket is cool, but maybe just add something else instead of the concussion rocket, because I saw hardly anyone using it, and I hardly ever used it because it didn't really do anything. But yeah, just give Boba Fett a bit more health and make him be able to zoom in if you can't already. With Darth Maul, there's not really many complaints. I do think that there's some things that weren't too great about him that will be fixed by the time the game comes out, because there's more beta things that weren't too great with him. For instance, I would be looking somewhere, I'm like, okay, I hit the dash button, the button where he just does his spin dash over to him. I do that, and then he'd spin the opposite way I'm looking. I think that's more of just, it's a beta, so it's got glitches, and that happened every once in a while. And same with when I try to choke people, I'd say about 30% of the time it would just not choke a guy I'm staring directly at. It'd be like, oh damn, this sucks, he's just shooting me while I'm doing the choke animation, no one's getting choked. But besides that, yeah, everything worked fine with Darth Maul, and I just think that's clunky stuff that'll be fixed by time the full game's out. At least I hope so. The heroes versus villains combat is just terrible in this game. It is absolutely awful, and that's one of the things I feel like they got right in the past game that I feel like they nailed. I know some people hate it, but I thought it was great, because in Battlefront 2, the original Battlefront 2, heroes versus villain combat was awful. It was fun running around just beating each other up, but it was basically the equivalent of having baseball bats, and whoever got the first hit in would win, because they would just come and club you over the head and just keep beating on you, because you couldn't strike back, you just get knocked back. And that's how it worked in the original Battlefront 2, and it was terrible but fun, because it was that old arcadey way. But then the new Battlefront by EA, the first EA Battlefront, actually added to where there was some clunky stuff, and being stunned was stupid. The Emperor could stun Luke with his chain lightning, and that was retarded, and I hated that. For the most part, it was really cool, especially Luke versus Vader. I thought it was done really well, how you have to time your blocks, or wait for someone to run out of their block, and you have to time when you use your abilities. And it was a game where a game within a game. There was actually strategy to it and skill, and it was a lot of fun. But in EA's Battlefront 2, it's not like that at all. It's gone back to baseball bats. You literally just hammer on each other. Darth Maul win almost every time if he had more health. I mean, if he had the same amount of health as Rey. If they both had the same amount of health, Darth Maul win. He's just more powerful, and also his choke was insane, because he'd just throw her and then beat her while she's on the ground. Very rarely did I see Rey win, or did I win as Rey. It hardly ever happened. But yeah, it was terrible. Also, give Darth Maul a block. That would help these battles tremendously, so it's not just beating each other with baseball bats, because right now Rey can block but Darth Maul can't, so it just doesn't look good and doesn't flow well, and just the heroes versus villains battles are just absolutely terrible. They're awful. They need to rework that, because in the first Battlefront I loved it. I thought it was done very well, but in this, it's just done terribly. Now let's talk about the classes. I think all the classes are pretty much fine the way they are, except for the sniper class. I think some aspects of it need to be buffed and some need to be nerfed. What needs to be buffed to me is I feel like there should be at least one rifle in that class that can one-shot headshot everyone but heavies. Heavies don't need to be one-shot headshot, but the officers, the assault, and obviously already all other snipers are one-shot headshots, but they're the only ones that are one-shot headshots. I think it's kind of stupid that right now you can only headshot other snipers, because everyone else is more than one shot, which I think is kind of stupid, because that's part of what's satisfying about using a sniper, is getting those one-shot headshots. If you could somehow add a bolt action rifle or something, you want to do that, so that way it nerfs it. You can't just constantly oh bam bam semi-auto one-shot headshots. If you want to do that, if you think that would balance it, I'm fine with that, but there needs to be at least one rifle that can do that, because that is part of what's attractive about a sniper class, is being able to headshot people and take them out instantly. Especially considering right now the sniper has the least amount of health, but it does the same amount of damage as pretty much every other class. So it's like, I get 50 less health than the next class, but I do the same amount of damage as pretty much every other class. Okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, the aspect that I think needs to be nerfed about is the EE4, which is the second ability on it. I feel like the EE4 needs to be nerfed a bit. It is incredibly powerful. When you activate that, you can go on huge kill streaks, especially because it refreshes every time you get a kill, which is kind of different than the Vanguard, because the Vanguard refreshes like a bit every time you get a kill. This thing like completely refreshes every time you get a kill. It was weird because I thought it would be the same, but I noticed it was different, because like I'd get a kill with a Vanguard, then a second later my Vanguard would be gone, but not with the EE4 and the sniper class. It's not how it would work, and so it was kind of weird. But yeah, that's what I would do to the sniper class. Now the special classes like the Wookiee class and the Flame Trooper class on Takodana, those need to be buffed severely. Especially the Flame Trooper class. That class is awful. There's so many like memes already on it already. It's terrible. Everyone knows how bad it is. And the Wookiee class isn't that great either. It's much better than the Flame Trooper, but still not that good. I think some small tweaks could change that for the better. I thought most of the special classes on Theed were done pretty well, though. I just absolutely loved the Super Battle Droids, both classes. I thought they were done really well and are a ton of fun to play as. And also the Jump Trooper on the Republic side is really cool to play as. I feel like maybe you should just up his rocket launcher a bit. Same with the rocket troopers in general on Takodana and Theed, because there are some times to where unless you get a direct hit, you're not killing anyone with that thing. It is incredibly hard. They nerfed it, and it's really bad. I feel like it could just buff it a bit. I like the fact that like now you move slower when you have a rocket out, but I think it's kind of stupid that you hit someone like an inch away from their toe, and it's like, nah, they're fine. You didn't hit them directly. It's like, okay, what's the point of using a rocket launcher then? Now, something does need to be done about Theed, in my opinion. I feel like there's still a problem with just overall where people are at. There are sometimes where you'll run around for a couple minutes and won't see anyone, or everyone is on the other side of the map, which kind of sucks. It's like, oh, I'm on this side, now I have to cross death to get over there to where actual people are. This kind of sucks. Or sometimes where you'll spawn and there'll be a guy right there staring at you. So spawns are a bit wonky, and maybe if they added, I feel like if they added just 5 more people on each team, it would be a lot better. I just think it would. Maybe it wouldn't be so good for the inside part, and that's why they decided on this many people, but I feel like 5 people on each team would help. I know they won't do it, but that's just my suggestion, because there are parts where you just don't see anyone and no action. It kind of sucks. I wish they would fix that. And then another thing that I would love for them to add is a squad mechanic. Please, for the love of God, add a squad mechanic. We need one, or at least partner system like the last game. It's so annoying when you can't just spawn with your friends that you're playing with. It sucks. It's like, oh, you're already all the way over there. I just spawned and I'm at the very back of the map. Okay, I'll meet. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you're good. I'm all the way at the front of the map now, and now you're spawning at the back. Okay, this sucks. Like, there's no team play involved because you can't spawn with your buddies, and it really sucks. I wish that you could just add some type of partner or squad mechanic. It would help the game immensely. Now let's just talk about the other modes real quick. Takodana I wasn't a fan of. The inside part was really cool, but the outside part was generic and lame and just not designed very well, and the game itself wasn't very good. I would have much preferred like 2-way capture the flag instead of this, which is pretty much just 1-way capture the flag. Not a fan of the mode. It wasn't that great, and I wish they would incorporate the inside part of the map more, because that was the coolest part. Like, being inside of Maz's castle was cool, Outside was just lame and I didn't care. Now, as far as the Starfighter mode goes, I played like twice because I didn't want to waste my time playing the beta playing the Starfighter mode, but they significantly improved from the first game, the flying. It is done much better. It looks really pretty. It's fun. I like the mode. It's just way better. I like it. I'm still not going to spend a ton of time on it, but it is really fun. I wish they would add a mode where you could, like the original Battlefront 2, where you could go and board each other's ships and stuff like that and take them down from the inside out, because that's my favorite part about the space modes in Battlefront 2, was flying onto the enemy team ship and taking them down from the inside out. So yeah, but that's my thoughts on it. So overall, that's pretty much all. Actually, wait, one more thing. The whole loot crate, loot boxes thing that everyone is mad about with this game. I see a lot of people getting super angry about it. My 2 cents are, I honestly don't care. If you see what you get in those crates, you don't get anything that's going to make you really superior to anyone else. If you're a good player, you don't have to worry about this stuff at all. If you're a bad player, it's not really going to elevate your skill level at all. It's not going to make you go on huge kill streaks. These loot boxes don't really do anything at all. All it'll help is, oh, I got this gun a little quicker, but this gun's not really that much better than that other gun. Or, oh, I got this star card that makes it to where if I kill someone with Han while using a sharpshooter ability, it makes the sharpshooter ability last a second longer. There's nothing that game-breaking or game-changing in the loot boxes that are going to ruin your experience. And the reason I am fine with this is because all the DLC for this game is free, and they have to make money somehow after launch. So how did they do that? They add loot boxes. Fine by me. Makes sense. I am 100% fine with it because we still get free DLC. I'll take just someone unlocking something a little sooner that doesn't really help them that much over having to pay for DLC or a season pass. I'm fine with this. It makes sense to me. I see a lot of people nerd raging over it and be like, oh my gosh, microtransactions are ruining it. No, it's not ruining it. There are some games where microtransactions really affect it, but for this, it doesn't really. I do agree that they could have done something better where they could have just had emotes and skins and things like that in the crates, and that would have been better, so that way it's just cosmetic and it doesn't change gameplay. But still, it does change gameplay, but not that much. It's not that huge of an effect. It's not like, oh my gosh, now I got a gun that can one-shot everyone, I'm gonna win. That's not how it works. So loot boxes aren't that big of a deal for me, especially because, again, free DLC. That's what I'm happy about. No more splitting the community, no more paying another like $60 on top of the normal game for a season pass. I'm so happy about that. But anyways, that's my review of the Battlefront 2 beta. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Battlefront 2 beta. Do you agree with me on some points? Do you disagree with me? Just let me know what your guys' thoughts on the beta was. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I grew up with the prenup. Mama said keep my C up. Now noticing I'm getting caught cracker and getting beat up, but I stayed up long nights, working hard on my craft. Gave a fuck about the bullies or anyone in my path.